Good Friday morning, August 12th, 2025. Nick Walker here with Texarkana Contractors, visiting with Texarkana's Real 10, Ashley Cooper. She's going to go into a little detail about that for us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'd like to start with Real 10 because it's one of my favorite conversations to have because it's really a play on words.
Mm-hmm.
And when people ask me about it, I love to kind of watch people stumble over their words because I know what they want to say, but they don't want to say it out loud. Because when I'm like, hey, so what do you think that means? And the first thing is, you think you're a 10? And I'm like, absolutely not. So I'm a realtor. I play tennis. Real 10.
Real
so that's
10.
where that.
And it makes it easy to spot in traffic. Like on the way to Little Rock that one day, I come up behind her and boom, Real 10. I said, well, there's Ashley. And then,
well,
of course, my sign's on my door, so that makes it a little easy to pick me out of a crowd too. So
it's just a fun little play on words.
Yep. So what real estate company are you with?
So I'm with Elite Realty Group. We've changed the name. It's the same group of people, same owner, same broker. We just made some changes in 2025. So still the same place that I've been with since I started.
And how will people be able to contact you if they want to sell, list a house, or find a house?
I'm super easy to find on Facebook, Ashley Taylor Cooper. Google, I pop right up usually number one. Or you can call Nick. He has my number. Ask. It's pretty public.
Or you can find her on Texarkana Contractors under the realtor section there too. So, well, let's jump right into these here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into real estate here in Texarkana?
So in 2020, I woke up one day and I thought to myself, you know what? I think I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm always one to have my hands in different things. I'm a firm believer that you should have pockets of income coming from different places.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2020, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my real estate license. And I ordered my stuff. I dove right in and I was licensed by January of 2021.
Nice. And to mention, you said that most successful people have more than one income stream.
Yes.
So, that's just a smart way to play. So, what made you choose real estate as a career, and what keeps you passionate about it?
So, just to be, fully transparent, even though I wanted to get my real estate license, I'm not really sure that I ever intended really to do real estate. And then, life happens, and I did get a divorce in 2021, and I thought, you know what, maybe I need to do real estate, but I didn't. But I did sell one house, mine. And what really got me going in real estate, it was New Year's Eve. It was at home. I hadn't done anything. It was 1:00 in the morning, and I had just checked my other folder on Facebook, and there was a message there. And she said, hey, girl, I know you're new in real estate, but I have some money to buy some rentals. I'd love for you to be my real estate agent if you're willing. And what's funny about that is I don't think she knew how new I was. I had sold one house.
Yours.
And so I think her and I ended up doing 8. We ended up buying eight rentals. So I'm very thankful for her and choosing me to do that.
What makes the Texarkana market unique from other areas?
So really and truly what makes us so unique is a couple of things. First of all, both sides of the state line.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Texarkana, Texas, you have Texarkana, Arkansas. And then, we're I like to tell people we're in a bubble. We are in a bubble area. So when you're watching the news, you're watching everything, maybe you're watching real estate TikToks, whatever's going on around the United States, our market is typically not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We do trend with the other markets, but ours it's not the most wonderful market, but we are moving homes.
Well, you can't compare Texarkana to the market in Little Rock and Shreveport and DFW. I mean, it's just on a different level, So
it's completely different. And then when people want to talk about, well, what's going on in Dallas, Little Rock, Shreveport, I'm like, doesn't matter. Our market does not reflect that. And
Yeah.
our home prices are so different
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you have, if I pick this house up and I put it in DFW, we're looking at a completely different price point.
100%. Probably
So
100, probably a complete double in the value of the house, I would say. So, are there any trends that you're seeing, such as people looking for something whenever they're buying a house?
we are, whenever I'm working with the buyers, especially, or even with my sellers, what people are looking for is move-in ready.
Move-in ready.
Move-in ready. So, what that means is if we have found 5 homes in their price range, so 5 homes that they like in their price range, square footage, bedrooms, everything there, and we go see 5, 9 times out of 10, the one that is move-in ready is going to be the one, that they pick, because most people right now in the world we live in today, there's not a lot of liquid cash out there to be able to buy something and go in and just dump a lot of money in. So,
well, and that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on the seller. You got to make it move-in ready. So, with that, what are some of the things that sellers need to be aware of when they're going to sell a house? What are the updates that they need to do?
sometimes it's not even about updates, especially whenever we're looking at a budget. It's all about how much money if we put into your house to get it, do some changes, what is your return going to be on that? So that's going to be one of the first things we look at. But something super easy, like when you're dealing with a seller, we're trying to get something listed, is paint, a really nice neutral paint, declutter, so people aren't walking around looking at your stuff. People want to be able to imagine themselves, in that house, and really and truly just looking at the budget, if there is any, to get a house where someone is really interested in it.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. How important is it to use reliable, trusted contractors whenever you're?
So, when you're a real estate agent, the people that you help, they really lean on you. They really depend on you.
Become part of the family.
For advice. Contractors, who do we like? Who do we suggest? And, what we see a lot of times is contractors, not calling back, not showing up, not giving us a bid. And what that does is it just prolongs, whatever we're doing. And so, there are people looking for contractors to actually show up and do the work. But if you don't call us back, if you don't show up, and then word of mouth travels. No, they didn't show up. I'm not calling them again.
Right.
Why don't we use this person?
Well, and that's why this is such a resource. Texarkana Contractors really kind of puts the guys that you can trust all in one location. So I'm sure realtors and whatnot are using this as a tool.
I do. I've been in there twice lately, looking for specifically what I'm looking for. A handyman. I'm not looking for a project manager. I'm looking for a handyman.
Right.
Somebody to go service rental properties. I'm going to keep you busy, but I need for you to show up. And that's probably one of the most difficult things.
Have you seen a situation where contractors made the difference in, a sale going through, or not at all?
So, I mean, if a contractor delays showing up and working, it puts us behind. I have had a house that we used a contractor. He ended up doing a wonderful job. And then I walked in one day and there was a massive crack across the ceiling. And thankfully, I called him. I called the homeowner. Everybody showed up. We got it fixed. So, in that case, what it did do, though, I needed that crack fixed ASAP because I needed to show the house, and I didn't want to have to go in and explain what was going on in the ceiling.
Well, and I know dealing a lot with realtors, it comes down to the closing date. You got to be done. I'll have them. They'll call me about a roof, and I'm like, yeah, they say I got to have it done by Friday. We're closing Monday, or whatever. So,
and I think that, especially whenever we're dealing with roofs right now, because roofs are what are making and breaking, our deals. And a lot of times, roofs are paid out at closing. Well, that's also a risk. So it's kind of like we wait till the very end and be like, okay, I need the roof done in 2 days because we're afraid a roof's going to go on. It's not going to close. So there's just so many moving parts to all of this.
Insurance has become such a stickler when it comes to roofs too. I mean, they will straight up drop you if they feel like your roof's not in good enough shape. They'll say either put on a roof or we're going to drop you.
And whenever it's the seller, and if you're a seller and then I'm a buyer agent, and we can't get insurance because it needs a new roof, well, then you have to step back in and negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we need a new roof. What are we going to do here? And you are a roofer, and you know that they are not cheap.
I tell people, I said, especially real estate, when you're going into that, one of the first things you need to do is have somebody at least go look at the roof.
First and foremost, to know.
Just go get up there and say, hey, are we going to pass inspection? Are we going to? And I mean, it takes us, 10 minutes to go up there and just take a look around. It's like, no, you're in good shape, or no, you need to replace this thing. So.
Absolutely, and that's my listings right now. If they don't have new roofs, I'm like, first thing we need to do is get a roofer on there. And if people are like, I'm not doing a roof, I'm like, well, you may. you may have to. So why don't we just kind of see where we're at first?
Yeah. So, is there any advice that you would give to first-time home buyers before beginning the process?
So the very first thing, again, especially in this market, is you're going to have a pre-approval letter. That is going to be first and foremost. And a lot of times, well, I don't want my credit ran. Well, it's not a hard pull. It's just a soft pull.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way that I explain that for people is, in your mind, you think you can afford XYZ because you've done a mortgage calculator. Well, you're not calculating insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You're not including your taxes. I said, and what I don't want to do is I don't want to go show you a $350,000 house that you absolutely fall in love with, and then we find out your budget is $225.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't like anything that you've seen because our expectations are so different.
Yeah.
So the first thing I do, when working with buyers, is we're going to have to get that pre-approval letter just to give us some clarification on what our options are, so they're not setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty tragic if they fell in love with a $500,000 home and couldn't only get a budget for $150,000.
And it happens.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's just so many moving parts to all of this.
So for homeowners that are getting ready to sell in the next year or so, what should they be doing to prepare for that process?
If you're going to be getting ready to sell, one of the first things I would be doing is looking at paint. I would be looking at paint if you have any wild colors in your house,
mm-hmm.
to try to get just a neutral look. And honestly, again, just kind of starting that decluttering, just kind of getting that decluttering process gone, so people can come in and look at your house and not your stuff. And then just being realistic and trusting your real estate agent. That's another thing we're running into. A lot of people, they're just not realistic about a sales price of a house. We're in a completely different market than we even were a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so just really and truly, you're going to hire a real estate professional. Trust us when we hand you comps that is the
right.
to help you get your house sold.
I've walked into some houses before, and some of the wild, crazy color schemes that they have just make you, whoa, what on earth?
And a lot of times it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful with their things and things like that.
Yeah.
But again, it kind of goes back to
it's
what people are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
They may choose a house that they don't have to do any paint.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's hard for them to picture themselves in that home if it's got a pink wall on it, So, obviously,
paint is just I feel like it's an easier, more affordable fix. I know you're in the paint business for a while. Paint
mm-hmm.
is very expensive, but I mean it's a simple fix for maybe a space that you want to calm it down.
You'll see our friends at Spectrum Paint over on Summerhill Road there, and they'll get you fixed up with some paint. So, what do you love most about living and working in Texarkana?
I mean, I'm a hometown girl. I've never really left, And this really is a good town, and there really is so much to do if you can just get in the right places with the right friends, the right choices. Pickleball is huge here right now. So there's so much, to do. There's clubs. I'm seeing golfing clubs being launched. I mean, I'm a tennis player, tennis groups. I'm seeing mom groups. It's a small town, but then we have all of the smaller towns around. So it is a really good area to move to, and I really think our area is just going to continue.
Absolutely.
It's going to continue to grow and be bigger and bigger.
We had a guest this morning at our Rotary Club that he mentioned that Texas A&M Texarkana is the fastest growing university in the country.
They just added a football team.
They got so much going on out there. So,
and that's going to be that's going to be a big pull also in real estate, because they are going to run out of dorms, and we've got families looking for homes for their kids to rent. So it's going to be an interesting ride. And when that hospital gets built,
the hospital, whenever they, so yeah, that'll be another. Who knows how many? That'll boom the market a little bit itself again.
So. I mean, they're building 85 more hotels, so there's something coming.
Yeah, every time you turn the corner, there's another one going up, along with road construction. What's one myth about real estate that you would like to clear up for people that are listening in on us?
Oh man. The income that we make. I think whenever we hand I'm just going to use sellers for example. Whenever we hand sellers a net sheet showing where all the money is going, a lot of sellers are like, "You get all of that?" And it's like, absolutely, I don't. I wish I did. It is split, cut, split, paid out.
Yep.
And we work for free until.
Well, y'all are a lot like us roofers. I mean,
until.
It's a volatile market. I mean, people think that we're just out here making bukus of money, but, I don't get paid on a job until everything's paid on a job. I'm the last one to get a check. And, that might be 2 months down the road from when we've done, started the process. So, I mean, it's.
And I think something else that somebody sees, and I really try to show a lot of it, more sides of real estate. A lot of times what you see is, oh, offer accepted. Oh, our house is under contract. Oh, we're closing. Here's our picture. You don't see the battles we fight for you behind your back that you never know happen. The paperwork that we do back and forth when we go to bat for you to get the things that because we don't want to stress you out. Buying and selling a house is already so stressful. So this, we really are valuable to people, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes people don't see our value.
Well, and y'all do become part of the family. I mean, whenever you're buying or selling, constant contact with these people.
Constant. We become, a lot of times, at least I do, we become a part of the family. When you spend that many hours with somebody, you learn kids' names, you learn what they do, their their schedules, and you really and truly become friends. Through the process.
And that's good though. I mean, that's the way it should be. So just to wrap this up, once again, how can people reach out to you if they want to get in contact with you to sell or buy?
I can shout out my phone number here.
There you go.
Super easy. It's 903-276-9898. I'm easily found on Facebook. Ashley Taylor Cooper. Quick search of that. I pop right up. And my signs are all over town. Nick has my number. I'm on the Texarkana Contractors website, this is super exciting. I'm really excited about it.
Well, thank you. We're excited as well. So what's one piece of advice that you give to anyone thinking about moving to Texarkana?
I'd say pack your bags, come on and call me.
Easy enough. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. Hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Nick Walker with Texarkana Contractors. Find Ashley on the webpage. Tune in next Friday. We will have another guest for our featured Friday. and we'll see you later.